They do it. You did it and only did it young.
Make sure that means stay seated at all times for your driver.
So you can identify the animal.
Alright, well here in Harambe we stick with it. Let's go. Well, hello everybody, my name is Lenny. Now here in Harambe, the Swahili word for hello is Jumbo. So Jumbo everybody.
Jumbo.
Okay. Now if you do happen to drop something out there on the resort, just let me know. Hopefully we'll be able to get a hold of somebody to retrieve your personal items. But I cannot promise that they won't be undamaged. So again, make sure you got a really good grip on your loose items or you're holding them on the ground.
Ready, everything is going to you.
Now those I do. Here we go. We are now going to be entering the Harambe Reserve, which was established in 1971 to help protect the wildlife that we're going to see today. Now, over the years, the animals in the reserve have become less and less afraid of humans, which is great for safaris like this. Now, this first part of the Harambe Reserve we're entering into is what is known as the Little Aturi Forest. Now, the animals in this area can get a tad bit tricky to see, but if you keep your eyes on the right-hand side, you're going to see some okapi. They're beautiful. They're very darkish brown. They got zebra-like stripes on their legs. Now, folks, with the okapi, many believe that they are related to the zebra because of the stripes that they have, but those animals are actually related to the giraffe. Now, many believe that they were mythological because Western settlers didn't discover the okapi until 1901, so it wasn't too long ago. Now, y'all, I do see a watering hole coming up on our left-hand side. It's pretty important because there are many different types of animals that gather at these watering holes, including different types of birds, antelope, and sometimes even the black rhino. Now, I do see some pretty interesting birds though coming up on our right-hand side, the right front of this bushel of bamboo, top right-hand side. Now, these are saddle-billed storks, and they got a wingspan of about 8 to 9 feet. So to give you a mental picture, it's about the width of our truck. But y'all back on the left-hand side, look at right in the curve of the rock wall.
Look over there.
You can see that black rhino. Black rhinos, they can charge up to about 35 miles an hour. They can weigh about 3,000 pounds. They're pretty big. Now, their horns are made out of the same thing that our nail and hairs are, which is keratin. So we're going to round the corner. Folks, keep your eyes peeled and go ahead and look. Now, go ahead and look on your bottom right-hand side. I'm going to be driving down the hill in just a moment. Now, you're going to be able to see them. They're back behind us on the right-hand side, right in the curve of the island. There's 2 of them right down there. Now, male adult hippos, they can tip these scales at about 5,000 pounds. But when hippos are born, they usually weigh around 85 pounds. So that is quite a difference, going from 85 pounds to 5,000. Make sure everybody is all... Now, those hippos, they can stay submerged in the water for about 8 minutes. So it's a pretty long time that they're in the water. We'll see if we can move them, get a little bit better look at anything. Oh, now I do see some pretty interesting birds up ahead. I'm pretty sure I see some more hippos. So here we go. Keep your eyes on the left-hand side. You're going to see some hippos all the way at the edge of the island, if you look really closely. Now, on the island itself are some grayish-white birds. Now, those are pink-backed pelicans, and they do get this pinkish coloration on their backs when it is time for mating season. Now, y'all look at all those hippos on the left-hand side. Now, folks, hippos, they can stay submerged in the water for about 8 minutes. Excellent swimmers, but they do tiptoe across the bottom. Now, folks, I do see a pretty interesting bird. It's a black bird. It's a little tricky to see, and it's on our left-hand side. It's right on, laying on the branch, kind of making an archway over the water. It's a white-breasted cormorant. Again, it's a little tricky to see. It's got a little bit of white on its chest. But they'll hold their wings out to help get them dry. Now, y'all make sure you remain all the way seated down for me because there's a pretty old rickety bridge and a lot of Nile crocodile on our bottom left-hand side. Now, you might have heard it referred to as the upside-down tree because many believe that it does, or it is upside down. So go ahead and look on your right-hand side and you'll see what I've been talking about. Now, the baobab tree is actually just leafless, and it can go leafless for about 9 months. survive many, many months of drought because they do store water in their trunks. Now, with baobab trees, elephants will actually gouge holes in the baobab trees to get that water that is stored in their trunk. Now, according to African folklore, the gods wanted to play a trick on a man, so what they did is they actually planted a tree upside down. Another way how it got its nickname. Now, baobab trees can get about 75 feet in height, 60 feet in diameter. Y'all, it looks like there's a lot of giraffes up ahead, blocking the trunk. Now, folks, we're going to be making our way into my favorite part of the whole entire reserve, and that is the Serengeti grasslands. Now, they do stretch over hundreds of miles across Africa. Super speedway for many migrating animals. This is the Africa we are trying so hard to conserve. Do y'all see where that green truck is? On our left-hand side, right in front of that other safari truck is giraffes. They're just right in the road. So if you look really, really closely, though, y'all will see a baby giraffe look directly on our left-hand side. This is the closest we're going to be able to get to it because we won't be able to stop for it up ahead. Mama can get a little territorial, so we don't want to upset Mama and we don't want to spook the baby giraffe. So the giraffes up ahead, we won't be able to stop for them unless they walk in front of the road, which they're doing right now. Now, folks, with giraffes, they can stand anywhere from 18 to 20 feet in height. Like I said before, that's how long a Nile crocodile is. But again, that's how tall a giraffe is. Now, giraffes also have 7 vertebrae in their necks, just like humans do, only theirs are much, much longer than ours. Yep, we're parking right here. It doesn't look like it wants to move. Now, there's actually a lot of giraffes I see. I see baby giraffes. I see mom clothes. I see... Actually, folks, there is a lot of giraffes up ahead, so it does look like the trucks are finally back on their way. So hopefully, again, we get a little bit closer. Now, folks, I see Ankole cattle up ahead. Now, the giraffes that we're going to be seeing are Maasai giraffes. Once we get a little bit closer to the Maasai giraffes, we'll tell you about them, and that is pertaining to their spot. So, again, let's make our way forward. Now, folks, with the Ankole cattle, they're going to be coming up also on our right-hand side. They're very dark brown, but they have got some massive horns on them. If you already can't see them, they're on the right-hand side. You see where that giraffe is? Right underneath the trees. You're going to see it. Very dark brown kind of horns are moving in the air. Kind of see them. Now, folks, with the Ankole cattle, again, they are the only domesticated animals on the reserve. Very ancient breed. Now, that being said, you might have heard them referred to as the Watusi cattle. Might be a little bit more familiar nickname for you. Now, it's actually the Watusi tribe that domesticated those animals. Might be a little bit more familiar name for you. Now, folks, there's also going to be a lot of reddish mounts coming up on our right-hand side. And as you can tell, they are all different shapes and sizes. Anybody got any idea of what they are?
Termite.
Termite. Now, termite mounts, they can get as hard as cement. Elephants will actually use termite mounts as these scratching posts. So when they get worn down, other smaller animals will use them as a lookout for predators. Now, those predators are actually the cheetah and the lion. Y'all see that baby giraffe? You can kind of see just a little bit more on our right-hand side. Kind of look past that tree that's fallen down. Now, folks, it does look like there's a waterfall up ahead and some other animals. Now, I also see a pretty tall termite mound, and you'll be able to see how an elephant can use it as a scratching post. I know that some of these that we've seen so far are kind of small, so you might question how that is possible. Now, like I said, these are Maasai giraffes that we're going to be seeing. Now, Maasai giraffes, they have very irregular patterns for spots. So when you think of Maasai, think of messy spots. Also, you get a little bit better look at the Ankole cattle. Massive horns on them again. Now, folks, the termite mound I was talking about and the waterbuck, they'll actually be coming up on our left-hand side, though. Now, the waterbuck's a shaggy gray animal. Now, it doesn't look like that. Giraffes just cross the road. Again, we're going to keep on. Now, folks, giraffes, they have very keen eyesight, that combined with their height, it does give them amazing advantage to seeing predators. Oh, there's a pretty good look at the waterbuck, though. Alright, folks, it does look like the baby giraffe is going to be really close to the road and actually looks like it's going to be coming up on our left-hand side, standing in the grass. Now, folks, you might be able to see a giraffe with their tongues if this giraffe isn't sniffing the road. Now, go ahead and look on your right-hand side first because you're going to see the Ankole cattle a lot better. Now, folks, the Ankole cattle's horns can get about 6 feet in height. 20 inches circumference at the base of their horn. Now, their horns are honeycomb. Blood runs in and out of those horns, helping regulate their body heat. Now, most you'll see the giraffes. Well, that's a brand. But you'll see that you might be able to see the giraffes' tongues. Now, they're a purplish black. They can get anywhere from 12 to 18 inches in length. And y'all go ahead and check out that baby giraffe on our list.
Look at it right there. A little one.
Now, folks, when giraffes are born, they can stand about 6 feet in height, weigh around 150 pounds. They're pretty big animals when they're born. Now, giraffes' hearts can get about 2 feet in height, weigh around 25 pounds. If you look on your left-hand side, you'll be able to see that tongue a lot better. See, it's just moving.
See him reaching up. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be passing by these inside. Let's move forward because there are some more animals at the end. Now, there's actually again white-bearded wildebeest. I'm pretty sure I saw a little bit of a glimpse of some sable antelope. We'll see if they get around the corner. Now, with the white-bearded wildebeest, folks, they have one of the largest annual migrations. It is huge. There's actually another giraffe up ahead, and I'm pretty sure this is a different type of giraffe coming up. Now, go ahead and look on your right-hand side. You will see the baobab tree, and then the white-bearded wildebeest kind of right in front of it, spread out in that little clearing. But again, they have one of the largest annual migrations. Top right-hand side, right past all the palm trees, you're going to see the sable antelope on top of the hill, and you'll see that giraffe. Now, folks, that giraffe, we'll see if we can get a little bit better look, is actually a reticulated giraffe. Now, the word reticulated, it does come from the Latin word reticulated, meaning net, standing for the net-like patterns on their necks. So their spots, again, are a lot more defined in the size and a little bit lighter brown. There we go. So just keep on looking on the top right-hand side of us, you'll see the reticulated giraffe. Looks like we'll be able to get to see the sable antelope in just a moment. Now, folks, the sable antelope, just keep on looking on your right-hand side. See right on top of the hill. Now, they are the official emblem of the Harambe Reserve. Males will actually use those horns as sparring for territorial purposes and courtship. Now, male stables will start to turn very dark brown the older that they get, so it is actually the oldest, darkest male there. You heard. Now, folks, we are finally going to be making our way out of these Serengeti grasslands, and we're going to be heading into an area known as Monkey Point, where supposedly a troop of mandrill monkeys colonized the area. Now, it is also what is known as elephant country. Not the heart of elephant country, but it is the beginning of it. So, here we go. Left-hand side, if you look right past the termite mound underneath the trees, you're going to see some mandrill monkeys. Let's see if we can get better look. Now, they are the most colorful of monkeys. They'll actually groom each other as a social strengthening bond. Now, male mandrills, they can weigh about 100 pounds. They're pretty big. Now, y'all look on the right-hand side, right between the two rock walls, right on top of the hill is an elephant. It's looking right at us.
Good. The elephant.
Now, though, the greatest threat to elephants are humans, illegal hunting, and poaching. Now, elephants, they are poached for their ivory tusk, and their population is facing habitat loss. Now, these large, beautiful animals and humans are starting to share more and more of these same areas, leading to very dangerous situations. Now, elephants will actually communicate with each other through a low subsonic rumble that is in their feet. It is way too quiet for humans to hear. Now, it does look like we're going to cross this bridge. Y'all, just make sure you remain seated. It does look a little bit older than the last one. But here we go. All right, this bridge sounds horrible, and I'm pretty sure I just saw that even a part of it. So no, we're getting off the bridge right now. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit close call. Not one of my brighter ideas, but we're good. And we're still heading deeper and deeper into elephant country. Now, along the way, I'll tell you a little bit more about the elephants. Now, both male and female elephants do have ivory tusks, not just the male. It's pretty interesting. Look at your right-hand side. You're going to see this huge rock wall right clay at the bottom of it. Now, in that red clay are elephant tusk marks. Elephants will actually eat red clay because it helps give them nutrition they normally don't see in their diet. Now, y'all look on the left-hand side of it. Now, here in Harambe, we are doing a number of things to help protect elephants. So can you, by believe it or not, recycling your old cell phones and laptops? And that is because some of the human and elephant conflict, it does stem from mining in the elephant's area for this. But now also educating yourself about elephants and their natural habitats can help them. And that's what scientists here in Harambe are doing. They are studying elephant communications to better understand what they need to do. Well, we picked something up. Let me tune in better. I have almost got it. And it's a radio station. Oh yeah, it's playing the #1 hit in Africa. You're gonna be listening to the music. If you look on your left hand side, I'll pull up so everybody can see, but you're gonna see some beautiful elephants.
Big elephants.
Alright, folks, now coming up on our left-hand side, you're going to see the greater flamingos. Now, they are the lightest pink of the flamingo species. They eat brine shrimp containing beta-carotene, and that is what gives them their pinkish color on the feathers. You can kind of see its head poke up. So if you look where the brown brush is on top of that hill, look to the left-hand side of it, more towards the bottom, because there's 2 cheetah laying down. Kind of see their heads poking up right along the tree line. Now, cheetahs, they can sprint up to 60 miles an hour. They do rely on their sight more than their smell. So they're actually going to do most of their hunting during the day, not at night, which is pretty unusual, because a lot of big cats do most of their hunting during the night. Now, cheetahs are sprinters, folks, but they cannot do that 60-mile-an-hour sprint back-to-back. It takes way too much energy for them to do that, so they do have to take the time and recuperate. Now, I do see these islands of rock up ahead, and I can tell you this is a really, really good thing. Now, they are what is known as a copy. Certain animals will use these copy to lay on, some may also to look out for their prey. So you may have any idea of what animals? Lions. You are correct. Lions are usually hanging around on the copy. Now, lions, though, are inactive about 18 to 20 hours of the day. They're not necessarily sleeping that whole entire time. They're just not doing much either. Now, lions, they do live in prides, not herds. Now, coming up on our right-hand side are going to be zebra, bonsabuck. There is also some white rhinos. So if you look on the top of the hill on our right-hand side, right along the tree, or bottom of the tree, you're going to see the 2 white rhinos. Now, so there's zebra up ahead, a lot more white rhino, or one more, I should say, on that top right-hand corner, all the way in the distance, and bonsabuck. Now, folks, bonsabuck, they are extinct in the wild. Reserves such as this, only place that you're going to be able to see them. Now, folks, I do see some lions up ahead. If you look on your left-hand side, see them laying on the rock. They're kind of right where that tree is twisted. Now, folks, we'll see if we can get a better look at them all. Just keep on looking on your top left-hand side. Now, folks, lions, I should say, can run about 35 miles an hour, jump about. Now, you're going to get a small little glimpse of the lions on our left-hand side. I know the tree or the kind of shrubs are in the way, so just keep on looking. Now, when lions roar, that sound is so powerful. It can be heard up to about 6 miles out. It's a very powerful sound. Now, coming up on our left-hand side is a warthog, and I see some ostrich eggs up ahead. Now, folks, you're going to see there's actually 2 warthogs. That one, that tree that's closest to the hill, there's a warthog right behind it. It looks like a rock with hair on it. So if you look, that tree that's closest to the hill, there's a warthog right. Oh, yep, see, it just moved its head. Now, warthogs, largest burrowing animals in Africa. They do love really small, tight holes, because what they're going to do is back up into them, showing off the predators. They are razor sharp. Now, on the right-hand side, right on top of the hill, right past the shrubs, you're going to see white rhino. There's some more coming up on our top right-hand corner. Now, folks, great efforts have been put forth in protecting them, but they are sadly still poached on some of the biggest, most well-known reserves in Africa. They are poached for their horns, which are very valuable on the black market. Now, you're going to see the ostriches and the zebras on our right-hand side. Now, folks, ostriches, they are flightless birds. Long neck, size on the side to give them advantage to seeing predators. We'll be heading into an area where I heard the addicts migrated to, and it does look like we'll be able to get to see some up ahead. Now, if you'll look on your right-hand side really fast, because it looks like it's running downhill.
Yeah.
And it actually looks like there's there's going to be a couple walking right across the road. Nope, it looks like most of them are. Now, folks, addicts are usually spending a good portion of their time migrating around in search of vegetation, and that is because they can go most of their lives without drinking water, because they do get a lot of the moisture from the vegetation that they eat. Well, this one's just decided to park it in the middle of the road.
It's called a roadblock.
All right, folks, well, it looks like we're going to be passing by some addicts, or they're going to be extremely close to us. Now, folks, like I said before, these animals are usually spending a good portion of their time migrating around in search of vegetation, can go most of their life without drinking water, because they do get a lot of the moisture from the vegetation that they eat. So it is pretty important that they migrate around, find plenty of vegetation. Now, they have got very flat, wide hooves, which enable them to walk across the sand fairly easily. Walk, not run. All right, there we go. So you'll check out these addicts.
Very pretty. You wait for me.
All right, folks. Now with addicts, there are less than 300 of those animals left in the wild. Not many at all.